Hi everyone, welcome back. In this video, I will show the complete process of building adapter with the help of a rapid adapter filter. Let's get into it and see what is the complete process of building adapter, your own custom adapter that you can publish in few minutes, few hours, depending on the complexity of the adapter that you're building. But like I mentioned, you don't need to build your adapter in one go. You develop and then iteratively you add more and more functionality. Let's look into it, the complete process end to end to build your own adapter. What are the necessary steps that you need to take care while building the adapter? So let's get into it. The first step is to build an adapter. Make sure you have the Oracle integration Gen 3 instance. Without Gen 3, you cannot build your own adapter. That RAB is the feature of Oracle integration 3. So first get access of the Oracle integration instance. If you don't have it, just try to create an instance first of all and gather the required details like its username, password, and then URL of the same. So after that, you have to create a confidential application in the identity domain with grant type as client credentials. So you have to get into the identity domain where you will create a confidential application. Okay. And when you will register it, you will have to choose the grant type as client credential that is required. And anybody who will have access of the identity domain in OCI can only create that confidential application. So make sure you will have access of that OCI identity domain also where your OIC instance is provisioned. Then when after your confidential application is created, correct, you have to add this application in the service developer role of your Oracle integration instance in which you want to register your adapter. Obtain the client ID and client secret and scope from the generated confidential application that you create. That you can go into that confidential application and you will find out all those three things. And then you also need to obtain the OAuth token URL, which will be the combination of IDCS slash V1 or slash token, something like this. That is the first step, and I hope you are well aware about getting the all those details. The second is very important. So for whatever application you are using, and you have to make sure you have the open API document and REST API of the application for which you want to develop the adapter. And then call those APIs in the Postman and make sure you have that Postman collection ready for the operation you want to encapsulate in the adapter. For example, you are trying to create an adapter for your supplier functionality of your custom ERP application. So make sure you have Postman collection of all the operations like create, update, delete. Okay. And then save the example responses of all the APIs in the Postman, which is necessary to generate required schema. So whenever you use adapter in your Oracle integration, you see, for example, Oracle ERP, and you are using the create invoice. So when you use the create invoice API in the adapter, you will notice the mapper is populated automatically with the required field. So to get those required fields, to create or to get the data, you have to save the example responses so that your mapper can be populated. So these examples are required to generate required schema for each operation that you want to encapsulate. And then you have to export this whole collection. Like we have this JSON placeholder as one of the collections, and there we have users. And under users, we have get users API, get user by ID, and then the examples of both. And then we have one more action called to-dos, and these to-dos under to-dos, we have two more get to-dos, get to-do by IT. So we have total two actions you can consider, users and to-do, and each action will have two different APIs. So you have to create separate folders for each, you can say, business object, and that will become actions in your adapter. Then you have to download and install Visual Studio Code on your local machine from where you want to publish the adapter to your OIC. So you can simply search on Google and then download that Visual Studio Code. And I hope every developer is well versed about it. If not, you can simply search what is Visual Studio Code. You can understand this as a integrated development environment using which you can write so many types of code. And then Oracle has created an extension for VS Code, which is known as Oracle Integration Cloud Rapid Adapter Builder extension that you have to add. So here, when you go to the extension, you will search Oracle Integration Cloud Rapid Adapter Builder, and you will find out this extension, and you simply click on the install button, and that will be added. So this is the major thing that will allow you to create your own adapter. So that is must to have. Without that, you guys cannot do anything. So VS Code and then add that extension which will create the adapter. The fourth step, you initialize your workspace in the VS Code. So what you can do, you can create one folder in your local machine and then open that folder in your VS Code. And then you will have a command rab initialize workspace command. So you have to prepare your workspace, meaning the chosen folder, using that command called rab initialize workspace command, which will add necessary folders, meaning skeleton for your adapter. So you can consider it is simply creating necessary required folder, necessary files. And then few folders will be generated automatically once the workspace is initialized using that command rab initializing workspace. And there will be one more folder called miscellaneous. Under that miscellaneous, you simply import or paste your Postman collection. That is the collection that we are going to use. That is the fourth step. The fifth step is to configure one file called publisher-profiles.yaml where you can add your Oracle integration instance credentials, which we have gathered in step number 1. So the credentials is basically will be interacting with your Oracle integration to publish your adapter. So that is important. So this is like a one-time activity. So you have to provide the host, the design time URL, and then integration instance, then auth details like token URL, client ID, client secret, and scope. So you can have multiple profiles so that you can switch your adapter from one instance to another, meaning you can publish adapter into different instances. So it is like a profile which you can have, it's like an array. You can have multiple profiles. That is fifth step. So, which is very important, sixth step is very important, which is ADD document, adapter definition document, which you can understand is like a JSON file, which will contain the specification and necessary function for your adapter. And this file will be known as ADD, adapter definition document. It can be simple file. It can be as much as complex file. But again, you have to do very less code here. But yes, that is a must to have file. So ADD typically describes the design and implementation of an adapter. What are the options will be available while you are creating the connection during design time? What are the options available when you use this connection in your integration, and how it will work during runtime? So design time and runtime implementation you write in that file called ADD. Very important. So to generate that ADD file, again, you don't need to do too much work here. So you have to right click the Postman collection, right? Whatever Postman collection you have imported in your workspace, you have to simply right click and use a command called rab convert Postman collection. So when you do this, it will generate the ADD document by taking all the required inputs, meaning whatever APIs you have given, plus the responses it will use to generate schemas and then security policies also. And then you can modify it. So here, when you use wrap convert postman collection, it will show you all the folders like users and to-dos. Under users, you will have all the required APIs. Under to-dos, you will have all the APIs, which you have to choose whatever you want to expose in your adapter. So, and after this ADD file is generated, you can modify it if required. Like you can add more security policy in your adapter. Like we have various policies in adapters like client credentials, like resource owner, like basic authentication, like none. So all those security policies are available in this RAB. So after your ADD document is modified, you are good to go. So you have a command called rav validate. So after your ADD file is generated, so the name of the file will be like main.add.json. So after your file is ready, so you have to right click on that file and validate to make sure your file syntactically and semantically is correct. Right? If it is not correct syntactically, then it will throw an error. Okay, so make sure you validate it before you publish it. So after it is validated, it will give you a confirmation. Yes, good job. Your file is validated successfully. So after it is validated, you have to register the adapter. Once it is validated using one command, again provided by data extension called rab register rab bundle. So you will use that command in your VS Code, and if your ADD file is valid, okay, then it will register that adapter in your provided Oracle integration instance. So you can look at your adapter in Oracle integration instance and use it. So you can find your adapter under adapter page. You have to go to the design section. Under design, you will have a option adapter. When you go there, you can find your adapter. Like you have given a name of your adapter is JSON placeholder. You go there and you will see the type will be local. Local meaning you have your own adapter. Okay. So guys, and you can use this connection and you will find it in an adapter list also while you create a connection, and then you can create a connection and use it. So once you use it, you will see all the modules will be available like folders, users, and to-dos. And for each folder, you will have multiple actions. And then you are good to go. So these 8 steps will help you to create your customized adapter for your application. That's it. I hope you find this useful. And in the further videos, we will actually look at the complete ADD and then how do we start building our first adapter. That's all. Thank you. Bye-bye.